Good day. Welcome to our lesson on how to tape the shoe last. Now this is the first process in a four-step process to get to our standard W. The idea of taping the last is to actually get the surface of the last, of the outside of the last, which we can flatten into a 2D shape. To do this, we need a 36mm masking tape as prescribed in the previous models. We start by taping the outside from the bottom to the top. We take a piece of tape a little bit longer than the last, and when I am referring to the center of the tape, I am referring to this area. You don't have to draw this line in. I'm just drawing it there for you to see. We take the center of the tape and we place the first one here on the joint. That's the widest part of the last. And we on the widest part of the last here, the halfway mark. So halfway mark runs from our joint to the widest part of our heel and is stretched nice and tight. Don't rub pleats out, pull them out. And where you need to, you can tear the tape, but not over the feather edge. We are just interested in taping the top of the last on the outside, so we don't need the feather edge. At the back here, a good way of doing it is taking your two thumbs and pulling and forcing it outwards in this type of action, that way, but pushing hard. The tension on the tape should be just before it breaks. You can see the blue of the last is actually showing through. That's how hard, tight the tape is. The next piece is this piece here in the front. You will have the tendency to go and try and go around the last that way. Don't do that. You have to keep the tape down and the top of the tape tight. Okay, so that it sits nicely like that, with no pleats. It should be very easy there. And now you can see our line is a perfectly straight line going down here. Next, we do the second layer and we place the center of this line, of this tape, on where this tape ends. So we want to overlap it halfway, like that. And we pull it tight. Try use your thumb like this, because that spreads the tension evenly over the tape. And there you will have you've got to follow the way the last takes you. Here again, we're going to pull that over, push that over, that we have no pleats there. When we eliminate the pleats as far as possible. It's not always possible to get every little pleat out, but as long as you're nice and tight on it, around there, you are fine. There we go. And here we follow double overlay there. So now you can see where the halfway of my tape is and where the other tape is ending. Right, next we go and we tape next tape, and we tape there. And we pull it tight over the last, like that. We pull it tight over the last like that. And there we have our next layer. Then take our next layer, and we tape our last where the other one ends, and we repeat this all the way. When we get to this point, you will see the tape starts standing in the air. Always just try and keep that piece there, and then you can just take a knife or something sharp, just break this tape there in that area, and there we have our next layer. Okay, nice and clean and neat job. The bottom, it doesn't matter what goes happen. Next, put our last down like that, and you'll see that here now the tape wants to go away from there, and it's impossible for us to get it there. So what we do is we just take our, there where it wants to separate, we slot it, and we continue with our journey in the right direction. All we need to do is cover the tape, 2 layers of tape, which we have all around here now, up to the center of our last, up here. So beyond this side doesn't matter. So we take our last little piece here. That's a short piece. And we take that across like that. Also, just the very last little piece on the top there, you see, we can just cover that with a small piece. It's good to have a double layer everywhere where we go. Right, now we take a piece of tape and we just create a dart out of it, a little pie-shaped tape, and we place that over here to strengthen this place where we cut, and that will be our finalized product. Now that we have finalized the taping of the last, and we have 2 layers of tape all the way across the outside surface of the last without any pleats, we can now commence to trim off the excess.